Coming up on SAU News, students are reminded to be safe in how they exercise outside after a tragic loss of life at a Georgia university.
The Black Christian Union brings to life a historical moment that captured a nation. We'll see the March on Washington and more highlights from BCU Night.
If you're starting a business, Southern's the place to be this weekend as it hosts the largest gathering of Adventist entrepreneurs for the Hive Creators Conference. We'll have preview.
All these stories and more coming up. SAU News starts now. Welcome to SAU News. I'm Tinsy Reed.
And I'm Elise Baltadano. Our newscast is brought to you by SJC Productions and the School of Journalism and Communication.
The tragic murder of a nursing student at the University of Georgia has raised new questions about safety on college campuses. SAU News reporter Cindy Hernandez examined Southern's campus and what's being done to protect students here.
Walking, jogging, and running are popular activities on any college campus. However, recent events have raised concerns about safety. Students at the University of Georgia are still in shock. Last week, 22-year-old Laken Riley, a nursing student, was killed while running alone near the intramural field on the UGA campus. The coroner says she died from blunt force trauma to the head. Police have arrested a 26-year-old man who lived about a mile away. While a random attack can occur anywhere, it raises the question, are students being safe when they exercise outdoors?
It's usually really busy. People bring their dogs and their friends. It's usually a super social place, so it's definitely not somewhere that I ever thought was unsafe.
The Greenway right behind me is a very popular spot for students to come exercise. However, it is a very secluded spot with little to no lighting at night.
There's not too many lights, especially when I go running in the morning or super late at night. I get super nervous, if I'm alone in the track.
While campus safety patrols different areas, they encourage students to be aware of their surroundings at all times, avoid tuning out the world with headphones, and to prioritize open and populated areas. For SAU News, I'm Cindy Hernandez.
Last fall, a Southern student launched an online petition asking the city of Collegedale to install lights on the Wolftover Creek Greenway, an idea supported by Collegedale police. So far, the petition has garnered more than 500 signatures.
Campus drivers are being encouraged to be extra mindful after recent events. Campus safety is warning everyone to be extremely cautious when driving and crossing over Colcord Drive by the Spanish SDA Church. The gradual curve and slope of the hill decreases visibility in both directions, making it dangerous when drivers don't slow down and when pedestrians don't use the crosswalk. Reportedly, these conditions have resulted in at least one near miss.
We then took kind of a proactive approach and had one of our officers up there kind of monitoring it for a couple days just to see how the driving was, how many people were parking there, were they using the crosswalk, just kind of see, is this a bigger issue than just a one-off where someone almost got hit. So after that, officers reported back that, about 50% of the people were using the crosswalk and the other 50% were not. They were just crossing the road.
Campus safety is currently considering designating the parking lot next to the crosswalk for compact cars only. The change could avoid situations where larger vehicles block an oncoming driver's view of pedestrians.
BCU Night remains one of the most anticipated cultural nights of the year. Our very own Kenneth Salmon captures the sights and sounds from last weekend's events.
A reenactment of the historic March on Washington was the feature of this year's BCU Cultural Night. The iconic moment in civil rights history was meaningful to the actors who played a part.
What I'm most excited about, I think, is the March on Washington, because I like the music that goes with it, and all my friends are singing. So I'm happy I get to march for that.
Long lines led to the Taste of the Island's food booths.
So I was one of the vendors for BCU Night representing the Bahamas. 242! We made corn fritters and guava duff. It was a great experience.
This year, the university's new policy to pause cultural night dancing challenged students to find a new way to express culture. The long rehearsals paid off.
my other favorite part is when there's that one little thing that you've been working on for so long and you just can't get it right. And then all of a sudden, even if it's sometimes by accident, it's like, oh, wait, we did it. Do that again. Run that back, run that back, run that back, because we finally got it right. Those are some of the best moments to me.
It was an amazing turnout with a whole bunch of people. Obviously, some people have left already, but it was great. They had wonderful skits. They had top tier clips from basically a short film that they shot. The music was great. They had wonderful food, tons of great things. It was better than what I was expecting. This is Kenneth with SAU News.
Students can still remember the night through photos and videos or with BCU Night 2024 merch that features the historical characters from the show. It's all still available for purchase.
Students looking for alternative ways to get service credit may want to check out this option: volunteering at the Samaritan Center in Ottawa. Each Saturday night, volunteers move donated goods that have been dropped off outside the facility. The donated items are moved inside where they are sorted and processed. The Samaritan Center receives a wide range of donations from clothes, toys, and furniture. The items are organized and separated into bins. The project supervisor, Curtis Cordwell, has enjoyed the growth of the ministry in the helping hands.
If you think if we didn't come here on Sabbath night, it would just multiply. So when there are a handful of guys who work in this area get here, they'd be very overwhelmed. They have to pull out everybody from the place, go help. So I think what we do helps them so much during the day, on Sunday especially.
Depending on the number of volunteers, the whole process can be as short as 30 minutes or take up to 2 hours. The Hamilton Community Church sponsors a group of volunteers to help the Samaritan Center the second Saturday of each month.
Southern students elected a new slate of student association officers last week.
The SA's incoming president is not wasting time organizing his cabinet.
We asked Edvan Benitez to join us in the studio for a preview of his administration. Thanks for being here.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
The margin of victory over your opponent, Bryson Baird, was only 40 votes. Did that surprise you?
Honestly, something that I was praying for, it was for God to give me lessons that I could learn during this campaign as well. And I take this as a lesson that God wanted me to learn. And maybe the biggest lesson that I get from this is that maybe God wanted me to depend on Him. No, it's not about the campaign that I could do, the videos, the ideas. It reminds me and it helps me to remember that it's what God can do, you know. So it helps me to be more dependent on Him as well.
Oh, great. What are you doing right now to get organized for next year?
Yeah, so right now we're gonna start with interviews for the cabinet. We're gonna start selecting the officers for next school year, and that's what we're gonna start after spring break.
Okay. You also ran a number of campaign issues. What is your number one priority for this upcoming term?
My priority for next school year is to build a community. I feel that I've been talking to different friends and students here on campus, and one of the issues that most of them have been telling me is a problem of loneliness on our campus. A lot of them, they're having a good Southern experience, they're having fun with their classes and stuff, but a lot of times they're having problems making friends. And I have a heart for those who are feeling lonely on this campus. And that will be the main thing that we're gonna target next school year. Making connections, building friendships, because at the end, those friendships, we're gonna bring them to heaven. And that will be my main focus for next school year, building a community on this campus.
That's great. Juggling a full slate of classes and serving as SA President is a lot. How will you manage your time?
Yeah, my time, next school year, this will be my only job actually. This job requires 18 hours, so this will give me plenty of time. During the previous semesters, I always work 20 hours, so I'm used to this rhythm of work and classes, right? So this now being my only job on campus, this will be my priority as well as my classes. And actually, I plan my classes in order for next school year to have less credits so I can focus on my main task and my job.
Okay. And finally, so many students seem to disappear outside of classes. How can you get more students involved in spiritual life and social activities?
Yeah, so we want to announce these ideas I think we're gonna have to push for social media more, but also for those who don't have social media. A lot of them, they're not on Instagram or, yeah. So we want to find ways to promote these events as well, and word of mouth. And that's why building connections, building friendships will be very important, because at the end, in those connections, in those conversations, we can invite people to our activities.
Edvan, thanks for joining us, and congratulations once again on your election victory.
Thank you. Praise God.
We hope to see you back here on SAU News.
Of course, it will be my pleasure.
By the time you see this, an Adventist University student will have $10,000 in the bank to fund a new business startup. Southern is hosting an entrepreneurship conference this weekend. As Jillian Wong shows us, one of the biggest cash giveaways is the student pitch competition.
I flew all the way from England to come here, and you know what? It was worth 10 times my plane ticket.
The School of Business and the Enactus Bring It team are hosting the largest gathering of Adventist entrepreneurs this weekend. Hive Creators 2024 is a 4-day entrepreneurship conference that is here on campus.
Experience on stage in front of hundreds of people. You business guys, you have more reach than the pastors.
Execution is key.
One of the most anticipated events is the National Student Pitch Competition. It features top student entrepreneurs from 4 Adventist universities competing for a $10,000 grand prize. Business professor Michelle Dugamis says these young entrepreneurs will demonstrate their drive and creativity.
This is an exciting event for students to be able to come out, to see some amazing pitches, hear amazing speakers. The whole event is about entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship with a purpose, missional entrepreneurship.
More than 800 students, employees, and community members have already pre-registered for the Hive Creators event. They're coming in from all over the country and from around the world. One of the student pitch competitors is junior marketing major Colette Williams, who has launched a vegan bakery she calls Colette's Creations.
So I'm hoping to get my products into local coffee shops or bakeries to have vegan options all around Chattanooga. And in order to do this, I would need funding for renting a commercial kitchen and hiring additional employees.
I admit, seen Shark Tank a number of times. I've gone through a few binge watching sections.
Another key feature of this year's conference is the Lion's Den, a startup pitch competition inspired by the popular format of Shark Tank. It is tailored to support Adventist entrepreneurs in expanding their ventures with a mission focus. For SAU News, I'm Jillian Wong.
The other Southern entrepreneur who competed in the Bring It Pitch competition was Senior Business Administration major Giovanni Leonor, who runs a travel and financial consulting firm.
The congressman who represents East Tennessee, including Chattanooga and Collegedale, was on campus this week talking to engineering majors. U.S. Representative Chuck Fleischmann was the guest at the engineering luncheon. His membership on the House Committee on Science, Space, and Technology gives him a front row seat on research projects like nuclear fusion and quantum computing. Students said they were excited to hear about the developments taking place at the Department of Energy Labs in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. It was one of the secret locations of the 1940s Manhattan Project, which developed the first atomic bomb.
With midterm exams upon us, it can be a stressful time of year. The librarians at McKee Library have a solution: pet therapy. A frequent flyer at McKee Library is Lily Pad Browder, a local therapy dog. Lily Pad, or just Lily, was incredibly friendly and eager to show students her tricks. Lily was joined by her owner, Hillary Browder. Want to find out when Lily Pad or some of her stress-reducing canine friends will be back on campus? Check out their Instagram page at McKee Library. SAU News is a student-run production here in Southern School of Journalism and Communication. I'm Elise Baltodano.
And I'm Tincy Reed. Do you have a newsworthy story? Message us on Instagram at SAU_news.
With the upcoming spring break, SAU News will be taking a couple of weeks off for some much-needed R&R.
And to get us in the mood, we close today's show with the performance by the music department's Steel Drum Band. Imagine yourself at the beach as they played the Beach Boys' 1988 hit, Kokomo.
Have a great break.